think we have everything. My chops. Can you see me? Welcome back, everybody. My name is Marylin. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Marylin Rossano from Rossano's Casa. Welcome back. Another week, another recipe. So this one is another cookbook / ebook, one bowl dinners, and it's chili con carne. So I just want to clarify this. I feel like I've seen like American people kind of say, I'm having chili. Is this what it is? I'm not sure. But it got me thinking, like, everyone says I'm having chili. I'm like, chili is just chili. Like, what is this dish? And I see a lot of Australians say chili con carne. It's not that. Carne is meat in Spanish. So it is a mince meat based recipe. I don't know if this is authentic. I don't really care. This is delicious. I'm going to give you lots of tips, tricks, substitutes, things that you can mash it up with, change, swap, because of course I've done that. I've done that to my own recipe. But if you have my book, I just encourage you to kind of like make the recipe how I intended it, and then you see if you like it. You see what you would like to swap and change it out and get inspiration for other stuff. So, of course, housekeeping. If you are enjoying this episode or any other, please like, subscribe, and share. I always forget to say it. I feel like I say it too much or I don't say it at all. It would mean the world because it will help me continue doing this. All right, so this cookbook, as we all said, and my oven's going to go off because, of course, I'm filming 2 episodes today, my banana bread and this. So this recipe has the mince mixture. You can serve it up with tortilla chips, boiled rice, and a guac. I've kept the guac very, very, very simple here because my traditional one has a few more elements, but I feel like it didn't need it in this. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to run through the ingredients. It comes together so quick, and I'm going to definitely tell you towards the end other things that you can do with this base recipe. All right, let's get cooking. All right, we have the cookbook, which you can buy the ebook version as well. It is here. It's a gorgeous picture. So you got the ingredients list, the method, tips and subs, and the individual shopping list. So if you do want to make this particular recipe, you know exactly what you need for that recipe. All right, so that's on the website. Now, let's get into the ingredients. Ground cumin, smoked paprika, dried oregano, and the hero of the dish, which is chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. So these are like chili peppers in adobo sauce, which is like a marinade. It's like a little, for example, it would be like a tomato paste, but it's vinegary and it's got lots of spices. So we have a tin of these. You can buy that from the supermarket now. Don't be like alarmed. Delis, but supermarkets have that as well. There's literally going to be a chili in there. We have some diced tomatoes. I like to use the cherry tomatoes. I just find diced tomatoes, like, they're not bad, but I just feel like it's the offcut of the tomato. So I generally use either cherry tomatoes or I use the whole tomato and I crush it up with my hands. That's just me. We have crushed garlic. It's not green olives. That's my homemade minced garlic paste. You guys know by now. I'm probably going to say in every single savory episode. The recipe on that is on the website. We have this beautiful, trio colors, Italian fire, Mexican colors as well. Capsicum, stems of coriander, and onion. So I'm going to sweat these off first, add the garlic, and then the rest. We have minced meat. That's beef. You could change it up, but minced beef meat is the thing. Now, my recipe calls for kidney beans. I'm changing it because kidney beans, I don't want to say too much without giving too much TMI, but if you know, you know. You can read between the lines. Yeah, they just don't digest great for me. So traditionally, kidney beans, if you're good with kidney beans, use them. I'm just using cannellini beans. And then we're going to make a simple guac. So I've got sour cream that I've got to get out of the fridge. Hang on. Let's go into just come into my fridge with me. Sour cream, avocado, coriander leaves. So literally you just separate the stems to the leaves. I'll add a little bit of garlic and, salt, pepper to that. So literally, it's like a mince mixture. Okay, it comes together in one pan over the stovetop, which we're going to head on over to in a second. And I'll serve it up with rice. And you know what? While I'm just taking you on a little tour, I've got these little tortilla strips. There's a deli version as well of these, but I just went to my local supermarket. So my kids will probably eat more of these than the mince mixture itself. But you could just serve it just with that. And I'm itching to tell you all different variations, but I will leave it to the end. All right, I have my cooktop, medium-low heat. Let's go in with a little bit of olive oil, a couple of tablespoons. You don't measure. All right, and I'm going to start off with sweating these bad boys off. All right, soften them up a bit, then we'll go in with our garlic. If I add garlic in at this stage, it's just going to burn. So let's pop this in. All right. Okay, and I am going to mix it around a bit, but all I'm going to do, a couple of minutes, about three to five, medium-low heat. I'm going to put the lid on and let it do its thing. All right, it's been about 3 to 4-ish minutes. I'm going to go in with the garlic. If you guys haven't made the minced garlic, please don't buy pre-minced or garlic. It's nasty. I know it's all about time saving, but promise, make your own. It doesn't take too much time. Okay, so we're just going to stir that in just for about a minute until it's really nice and fragrant. Turn the heat up, medium-high. I'm going to go in with beef mixture. Okay, and then we are going to brown this off, and we're going to break up any lumps so it's a nice mince. Okay, I know some people add the mince first and then they add the rest of the stuff, but I don't really mind. I just do it this way. Works, tastes delicious. So I'm going to do that and we'll come right back. Let's go in with our oregano. It's funny, the recipe in the cookbook, I hope I fixed it, but it's 2.5 teaspoons, but there's no space in between 2.5, so it looks like 21. Smoked paprika. Okay, I'm going to get another spoon. Sorry, I don't like to have my spices mixed up in jars. Cumin, if you don't like cumin, leave it out. I feel like it is essential in here for me. All right, I'm going to make sure that all that mince is well broken up. I don't like big lumps of mince. I like to use a spatula of this shape to help break it up. I just feel like it does a good job. So let's do that. Turn the heat down to low. All right, make sure that's all stirred in. Then we're going to go in with our tinned tomatoes. You know what, I'm going to season it with a bit of salt. All right, salt, pepper. If you know me by now, I love my food I like flavour. I know sometimes, like especially in some Italian cooking, it's very simple and I love that. But I feel like my roots call for lots of spices, flavour bomb. It's just me. It's how we roll here. I'm going to go in with the chipotle. Now, you can take this out on a chopping board. You can chop up the big chilies that are in there. I'm just going to mush it up in the pan because I can't be bothered. If I'm telling you the truth, I just cannot be bothered. I want to mush it up a little bit like that. Okay, I don't mind a little bit of chunks of chili. I just feel like this works. So just break it up a little bit because there's actual chili peppers in there. Okay, it's not just sauce. I think there is a generic brand in the supermarket it's just the adobo sauce, but the chilies maybe have been processed in there. I don't know. Anyway, let's do that, and let's go in with our tinned tomatoes. Okay, which I had to freaking use a tin opener for the top because I hate it when the little lid thing clasp falls off. I can't even talk. And these squirt a little bit. Just gently press them, oozing them. So like I said, I like to use cherry tomatoes. I find them sweeter, love them. Otherwise I use a whole. I don't generally buy crushed tomatoes. I just feel like it's always the offcuts. Could be wrong, just my opinion. That's just my preference. All right, I'm going to go in with the beans as well at this point. Again, like I said, you could use kidney beans if your bellies comply with it. If they don't, you can leave beans out. You can add black beans. Again, not traditional, just whatever. Mixed. I probably wouldn't do mixed beans because it's got, I mean, you could. It's got chickpeas in it. But I would use cannellini, butter beans. You know, that's my kind of preference here. Put it on. Give it a bit of a taste before I just check the seasoning. Let's go double dip, George Costanza. Need a bit more salt. Now, I'm going to put the lid on and let it cook for a few minutes on low. If you like this a little bit more saucy, then you can add 2 tins of the diced tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, or if you want, you could add a larger. So that was a 400 ml tin. If you don't want the cherry tomato, you can just use a large 700 ml passata, and that will make it a little bit more saucy if you like. So I'm just going to even this out because we are neat, even though I've splattered everywhere, much to my despair. Put the lid on and let it simmer for a few minutes, and then let's go make our guac in the meantime. We're going to make a very simple guac, not traditional, just look at that. Did I tell you my tip and trick about avocado? I'm sure you know. If you don't know, listen up. If you do, fast forward because I share this all the time. So the avocado should feel like this part of your thumb or palm, okay? That same feeling in terms of softness, okay? And then here, if there's that little pit thing, flick it off. If it is a light green, okay, you know that the inside is going to be green. If it's a dark brown, it is too ripe. Anyway, thank you for my TED Talk on avocados. Let's add that into the bowl. All right. Wrong knife, people, wrong knife. Giving this a bit of a rough mush. You could do this in the food processor if you want it to be that real silky, smooth kind of guac. I'm going to go in with a bit of garlic because I love it. Some salt. You could put some lemon juice. Actually, I might do that. I don't know if my recipe said that in there, but you could. Might have to steal some lemons from the neighbour's yard again. Let's go in with the coriander leaves. I love all the coriander. Go in with some sour cream. Old sour cream. And we shall give it a nice little mix. I'm definitely going to get some lemon. Let's just pretend we put the lemon in there, okay? Running with my mistakes here. You know, there's no hiding for me in these episodes. The chicken teriyaki bowl, remember? I don't know, somehow I deleted or lost the end part of the video. God, goodness me. So that's pretty much it. All right, I will add the lemon. That is it. Boil some rice, tortilla chips, the chili con carne mix, and that's it. Look at that. And see, just by letting it simmer with the lid on, that condensation, look, it's much more saucier. So before you, I don't know, alter the recipe, maybe give it a go the way that the recipe intended and see for yourself. So you could definitely add some boiled rice to this dish, which is how I'm going to be eating it later, because I could probably eat that whole bag of tortilla chips. But for you guys, let's just do that. I like to add some strips on the side. Get some, you can warm up the tortillas. Oh, no, we don't want to do broken. They're for just snacking on, people. Look at that. Fancy. This is a great little dish. And oh, God. We got a dollop of that. You can add, hang on, a little bit more coriander to the top just for you coriander haters. That was extra. some lime, wedge of lime, and there you have it. So good. Let's flip the camera around. For our outro, I will give you tips, tricks, subs. Well, I've given you lots of those along the way. But yeah, anyway. So I'm grating a little bit of manchego cheese over the top. It's a must, in my opinion. Let it rain. Like I said, add some lime, like a wedge of lime, just to cut through like the fat of the beef. So this mixture, if you don't want it chili, leave the chili and adobo sauce out. If you don't have the sauce, you can't find it, you could just use fresh chili. That is totally fine. I would add it at the beginning with the capsicum, onion, and coriander stems, and maybe just a little bit more sauce. You could add a little bit of tomato paste as well to thicken it up if you don't have the adobo sauce. That's that part. This mixture, if you are meal planning, meal prepping, you by all means double batch it. Make a kilo of the mince mixture at a time. You can freeze it for a later date. You could make individual pies with this. You could leave the mince in the freezer in little portion sizes or in a container. Defrost it, thaw it, whatever you want to call it in the fridge. You could make it into quesadillas with like the wraps or tortillas. You could get pie filling, jaffles, toasties, so many things. You could even do like a Mexican inspired lasagna and use this kind of, actually that's a really good idea. I think that's another episode. See, I get really creative here. If you don't eat beef, you could replace it with, I wouldn't use lamb with this. I'm not a big lamb lover in general. I do like lamb sometimes. I don't think it would go. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to say no. Sorry. I'm going to say no. I'm going to draw the line. Pork, I'd probably do pork over it, but just use beef. Just use beef. If you're vegetarian, I don't know. What do you meat? Fake meat stuff? I don't know. Mushrooms. Maybe process a bunch of portobello mushrooms, or just make something else. I feel like sometimes I'm quite flexible with my recipes, but sometimes I'm just going to let you know, yeah, no's no. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, share. As I always remind you guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your engagement, your likes, your comments. It means the world. If you like this recipe, you can find it in my cookbook/ebook, One Bowl Dinners. It is available on my website. I'll add it below somewhere. It is a great recipe. It's great family friendly. It's quite budget as well. And yeah, apart from that, let me know. You can subscribe to my newsletter on my website to be informed when other episodes. Otherwise, subscribe here. Yeah. All right. Bye.